Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we complete this game, I think, and figure out what actually happened. The machinations of murder.
Alright, break out the notebook. Time to put it all together.
Let's start with this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's wound. It's the murder weapon. I'm sure of it.
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it wasn't found anywhere near the crime scene.
It was clearly cleaned.
Then it was hidden. I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the lake.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was it fired from?
From above.
It was fired from above Freya.
Above, huh?
Yeah, our diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
The attic.
Perfect hiding place. We even found a part of the murder weapon up there. The reel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
Wait, the arrow was fired through the crack in the floorboards?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya was found lying on her back.
Nope, doesn't add up. It would have missed her if she was still standing up by the painting.
Ah, right.
Unless...
They must have planned the falling. I'm starting to think that the insect's cry has something to do with it.
Freya was already lying on her back before the arrow was fired.
I think so too.
She'd fallen unconscious.
She'd fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
The gramophone. That's what's cracked.
The gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
The gramophone emits poison gas. There was something in the gramophone, I think. The beetle, probably.
There was something in the gramophone.
Mm-hmm. Something small.
The golden beetle, with its 95 decibels of hissing.
Pointer's research says it can emit an incredibly loud hiss when it feels threatened. Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the time of the murder. Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
No, I don't think so, not by itself. But don't forget, it was being amplified by the shape of the gramophone. I don't think we're purely talking about volume either. It might just be a particular type of frequency.
This is getting kinda scientific. Since when do you know anything about the effects of weaponized audio frequency?
I don't, but I think someone else does. Do you remember that statue we found in the music room? The horn it's playing. It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the gramophone. That broken glass isn't there on accident. This is someone's science experiment.
Thinking about it, Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too. I guess they were both in range of the noise, although Pointer might have been lying.
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that.
I
It's pretty
do
clear
think so,
a powerful
too.
frequency did pass through Flora's tower. Caused quite a bit of damage too.
The paints. And the gramophone itself.
Those cracks didn't appear out of nowhere. Freya's paints, the pink cassette tape, and the gramophone itself, they all sustained similar damage while they were in that room.
That's some seriously powerful vibration, enough to crack metal, enough to knock someone out all the way across a room.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. If the frequency was so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off? Wouldn't they have been in range too?
Earmuffs.
Think about it. They can't have been much further away from the gramophone than Flora was.
They used earmuffs.
They protected themselves.
How?
Where are those things?
These are some pretty heavy-duty earmuffs. I think they'd be enough to block out the sound.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start. 1. Freya is painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the gramophone.
2. The murderer is hiding in the attic, wearing earmuffs.
3. The golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
Yeah, what triggered it at that particular moment? Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
Not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
4. Freya and Flora are both knocked unconscious by the vibrations. Freya lands on her back. She drops the brush and palette by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
6. The arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
7. The murderer leaves the attic, presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
That's it.
That is it indeed.
There's something bothering me.
What?
I just want to check something. Let's go back to the crime scene.
Hold on just for a bit. I will have to say though, it is a little teeny tiny bit of a stretch that Flora fell on her back exactly properly for her vitals to be hit in such a way that she could be killed. It does take a little while to bleed out like that. Then again though, I guess I don't know how powerful the crossbow was. If it went through her entire body, maybe. But in that case, pulling back the arrow would have been rather challenging. Well, I guess I shouldn't sweat the details too much.
Let's not wander off right
Can't
now.
go anywhere else. Okay, let's have a look. Flora's Tower. What is it, Sally? Oh, we just need to look around.
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
Freya was unable to finish the painting as she died sometime during the process. Flora appears to be wielding a knife. The red substance on the tip was discovered to be blood. Freya added the blood to the painting herself. Her red paint was swapped out for blood. I would imagine that Freya should have noticed that, though. Flora is not holding a knife. She's in shade here.
It's dark.
What is it exactly that we're checking for?
Freya, did you leave us a clue?
There was yellow, yet to be unused at least. What was she gonna use the yellow on? The missing clue.
So what's bothering you?
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she was holding it during the painting.
The feather.
Flora's ink dip feather?
It was here, in this room. Where'd it go?
The windows are pretty big, so something could have taken it. Yellow paint. I think I got it. Something had taken something else before for a certain character. And that something was yellow, in color. So, maybe... Oh, I want to go back and look at my clues. I think I know it. I think I know it. Did we find it somewhere else? Because I'm not sure.
We never found it.
You sure about that?
Not entirely. Flora's ink dip feather?
It was here. In this room. Where'd it go?
We found it somewhere else.
Dang, I actually don't remember it. Oh no, we did find it in the burnt items.
We were a little too late to save it.
So it was stolen from the crime scene. And ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's tower?
The same way the
Flora
rose
dropped it
was.
when she fell unconscious.
Yeah, and then what? The murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
So the question is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access?
I know.
The final clue about the crime scene. Freya left it for us right here.
I know. It is in the unfinished painting.
It's in the unfinished painting. It's not quite a photo, but still, it's an image of the crime scene recorded just before the murder. If only she'd finished it.
We
Then
simply
I could
made
be
an
totally
assumption
sure.
about something
It's true
that
she
is
never
incorrect.
finished it. But she did intend to finish it.
Meaning?
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas.
Okay, so when we're looking at the painting here, if we look at the unfinished parts, we look at this and we think automatically this must be another plant. But another plant was never found. It should have been in the rooftop garden if something like that fell, but what if this is in fact not one of these plants? What if it is something yellow? Something yellow, like a bird that has very similar feathers. Just the same. A bird that also stole the rose from the rooftop garden. A bird that belongs to none other than Penny. Penny, who also has a similar speech pattern to Hawkshaw.
Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need before she started painting.
The yellow paint was going to be used to paint this sketch of something sitting in the window.
The yellow paint was going to be used to paint this sketch of something sitting in the window.
Something in the window. Oh.
Yes. And there it is. I think we're in trouble.
There she is. Our little thief.
Isn't it Tabitha?
How long has it been there? Did it hear the whole conversation?
It's spying on us for sure.
She did,
Oh god.
but she's a very good listener.
Hi.
Well now, I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you?
Penny, why did you...
It's Penelope, if you don't mind. But before we begin, isn't there a certain formality demanding our attention?
I mean... choices. Tie her up? Maybe? We have the rope.
Lovely. Now, tell me, What was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so curious.
I guess I just need to know the truth. Justice for Freya, yes, but I also need to know the truth.
I just need to know the truth.
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
Absolutely nothing.
So, what? You just hated her indiscriminately?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy, the volition to create something from nothing, the willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
You know what? I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you? Only a few short hours at Tangle Tower, and you feel like you've got everyone sussed. Unearthed every single one of our secrets. Nothing but bullet points for your notebook. Go on, indulge me. What does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer?
Well, she does seem lonely.
I suppose I can't argue with that, can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after. Living at Tangle Tower, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a Tangle Tower thing, and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy, not one.
So why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall, did you not?
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't have put it better myself. My mother, for one. My father, too. The other 2 Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
I guess that's the people in the photograph. 5 people. I'm guessing Penny's mother is the one in the front. Primrose is in the left. Richard is on the right. And then Fitz's father. And that would mean that Penelope's father is the one who we confused to look a little bit like Felix.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
More than that. I wanted to know if I belonged with them. I have no place here. Not among the Fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose they all shared. Perhaps it could be my purpose, too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do, at first. Nobody would tell me anything. The more questions I asked, the fewer answers I got. Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
I'm guessing the study.
The study. The one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to a bedroom.
The
I'd
heat.
hear voices at night. Deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end. The paint would peel. Wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed. I thought it was something trying to break through. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside.
The era of Misted Mansion.
Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
Yes.
Mistids? Sure, yeah.
You're more observant than I thought.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
It's a collective term, from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians, anything living off the lake water. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait, mistids, like cryptids, like Bigfoot or whatever.
A little egregious, isn't it? I suspect that was an intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happened, some got out. Quite a few got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones.
I'm guessing it is the children's book. At least, I'd make a guess. No. The children's book was underneath. Something that was found in the study. The group photo, perhaps? Was that in the study? No. Yes? I believe it was. Maybe? Yes, it was at least found in the study.
The 5 missing family members standing together as a single unit, calling themselves the ambassadors of Misted Mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
And rightly so. The age of Misted Mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era denied to me in its entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself, all empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe they'd share the family history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts, the creatures themselves, all lost, taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
And? What happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose, but they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mistids. Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5 completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangle Tower. I had nowhere else to go. I considered giving up. But instead, I made a decision.
A lowly entomologist.
There was only one person at Tangle Tower still of interest to me. My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era of Misted Mansion.
Guessing the golden beetle.
So where did he get the beetle?
I cannot be sure, but I theorize that he received it in the post.
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangle Tower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step.
I'm guessing that it's Primrose who sent it. His wife and Poppy's mother. Perhaps he told her that he was financially struggling and she wanted to help.
Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen. He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that? The name, the costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
Ha! It carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique? Before Misted Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator. However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not much, but I have what I need.
So why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did you kill Freya?
The will of Freya Fellow. There is still one more lock left.
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted?
I did realize as much, yes. This here.
That's right. I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's recurring nightmare. For all her vitality, I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona. The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all three families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance. That was her plan anyway, but something happened before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study, found your notes, found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of the room, but if she could be unconscious, then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
So she wouldn't see it
Why the
as
knife?
her trauma.
The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. Worked on you, too.
So why are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait,
It's still in the
it's still
gramophone.
here?
It's still inside the gramophone.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. No, 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 no. Tabitha must have been the one to trigger the beetle. The boat is gone.
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What happened to us?
You were both unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here? What happened to Penny?
Fitz saved both of you, obviously.
When I reached Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us, because he liked Penny. A lot.
But what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What? Did she survive?
She did.
I
Clearly.
heard something land in the garden outside my room, but by the time I got out there to check, she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have Penny's hat bird?
She left him behind. I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary, all by himself. Poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
So, Penny got away.
I'm afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge. I proved to be an ineffective guard. She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope,
How do you know?
because it's right here.
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
Poppy, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone. So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again. I think that's what she would have wanted.
I think that's a beautiful decision. But so Penny got away. It is a little bit of an open ending, I guess. I'm definitely hoping there will be a sequel to this. I enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. What did you guys think? Did you guess the murderer? Did you guess some of the secrets of the other characters? SFB games. Oh, look, there's a small heart near the beetle if you look up and to the right. There you go, little guy. Fly happily. Well, I guess that is it. Let's have a look at the art gallery. Ooh, look at this. These are actually quite cool. Oops. Oh wow, look at the original designs. That looks like Pointer. Grimoire is tricky to get right, as he needs to be flexible, mix of silly and heroic, like lighthearted and dramatic. Has a somewhat pretentious manner. Oh, so many different variations. Color palette is kind of challenging as well, it seems. I remember something more similar to this one, being the original design. Ooh, look at Sally. I think I like the ones with just one layer of ball in her hair the best. Ah, the original ones. These are the ones from the previous game. I like that Grimoire isn't quite as worn anymore. Ooh, Flora used to be quite terrifying, huh? I mean, she's still intimidating, but not quite as scary one as this. Oh, I'm so glad they didn't go with this hairstyle. Good grief. They clearly put in a lot of effort. If you guys want to read something, just pause. Oh yeah, that's a cool one. Phoebe was initially conceived as a character who would remain sitting down while you talk to her. So that is true. Oh, that is terrifying. Good God. Okay, I'm glad that they went slightly more to the cute route, honestly. Yeah, I like this version a little better. Detective Hawkshaw. Detective Hawkshaw, indeed. Used to have a quill. Ah. The glasses kind of would have been a fun touch. But it seems like from the beginning they had a pretty good idea for how she would look. The hairstyle, everything. Oh, first design of Freya. I gotta say, I like the one that they settled with in the end. Her younger version. It's, whoa, that is very different. Like, super different. Fitz was conceived as an insect character, butterflies in particular. Ah, so that's why he has such an insect-like look. I think there are probably more drawings of Fitz on this slide than actual frames of animation in the game. Yeah, he's pretty static, isn't he? But it works very nicely. Professor Pointer. Oh god, I hate him. He's so gross. As a character, like, something about Pointer just doesn't sit right with me at all. Not one bit. Ooh, interesting designs. They really did settle for a really good one, I think. What about Poppy? Ooh, some braiding would have been maybe nice, or hair tied up. Yeah, Poppy. Poppy definitely needs that very, very long hair. It suits her. That is a good one, especially this one. Poppy was simultaneously one of my favorite and least favorite characters to draw, as her hair was great for her fun animations, but also took absolutely ages. Yeah. They did a really good job animating her, I think. Everything looks so nice. It used to be clearly a little bit more light. Honestly, the creepiness factor in the study itself, I was a bit surprised by. But I guess it works too. The Grand Hall. They also had a bit stronger color split planned originally. Music room seems to have been pretty much the same all along, but the greenhouse has changed quite a bit. I like the garden. You can see how some places were very clear from the very beginning, and others took more time to settle. I like this room better than the one that Fitz had originally. Oh, it used to have like a shrine table for Penny. Originally we wanted to include a shrine to Penny in Fitz's room and for it to be the only area of warmth and color in his space, representative of his real-life relationship with her. We later substituted this for a single card from Penny that he displays on his shelf fondly next to one of his plants. I gotta say, I'm a little bit confused in the end about their relationship. I mean, it's clear that Fitz still looked after everything in relation to Penny, but what was it in the end? And is there something between Poppy and Fitz or not? A romantic setting nestled between two of the residents' bedrooms, it's a secret meeting spot between the Pointer and Fellow Towers. There's something of a Romeo and Juliet theme going on, so I included a lot of romantic visuals and iconography. It was very inspired by 18th century Rococo paintings. Workshop. Oh, I already checked that. Astronomy tower. I think it makes sense that the telescope isn't all too large. The lab has always been spoopy. Flora's tower. I like it. All the fabrics just fraying in the wind. I like it. And the attic. So many holy fabrics. Clues. Oh, even the clues have things. Wow. Well, I'm interested in the children's book. Bajkadir, snake thing, frogman, inked bird. It used to be a little bit different by the looks of it. And the group photo used to be slightly different too. I guess this man used to be Penny's father and this the mother, so that she would have inherited the hair color from him instead. As for this, let's see. Primrose Pointer, Pandora Pointer, Buck Barley, Richard Remington, Flint Fellow, this would be the father of Fitz, and then Lord Fellow. They ended up excluding him. Well, I definitely enjoyed it. If you guys want to look at the rest of the art, I do warmly recommend buying this game and playing it yourself. It's a lot of fun. Just give yourself a little bit of time to forget all the solutions, maybe, a couple of months, and play for yourself. Thank you guys for watching this Let's Play series, and I'm looking forward to seeing you with something new next week. Bye!